Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Marlon Johnson, aka Mindset Marlon, and I went from making $20,000 a year to learning how to make over $20,000 a month. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what you need to understand if you are in sales, and by not understanding this, you are literally losing millions of dollars.
I got $1 billion mindset steady.
So let's jump right into it. So the other day when I was out for a run, I'm training for my marathon right now, so I had a very long run ahead of me, and I decided I was going to listen to a lot of Alex Hormozi. And if you don't know who Alex Hormozi is, you should check him out. He's a young guy. He's on a path to becoming a multi-billionaire. His company is already doing in excess of 10 figures per year, and that's just a small portfolio of businesses he currently has, and he's always acquiring more. And I heard him talk about this concept that the difference between small entrepreneurs and large entrepreneurs is small entrepreneurs are trying to get customers so that they can make a sale, whereas large entrepreneurs are trying to make a sale so that they can acquire customers. And at first, when I heard this, I gotta be honest, it didn't quite register, but I knew I was hearing something that I should pay attention to. So actually later that night, I came back and I listened to it again when I wasn't running, and I really thought about it. Like, what does he mean that small entrepreneurs, small businesses, and I'll write it over here, small businesses are focused on making a sale. They're focused on getting a customer so that they can make a sale. So they want to get customer so that they can make a sale. And let's look at this, right? So the small businesses, they want to get the customer so that they can make the sale. In other words, they're constantly figuring out, how can we go and find the next person to sell our product to? How can we go and get that income right away? How can we get the contract, close the deal, whatever it may be? And they're just focused on always having to go out and find their new customer. And then once they get the customer and they make the sale, they're back to going and finding another customer. Now, I think many of you can already begin to see what the challenge or the problem is with this model. Is if you always have to go and rumble up a new customer, this is where 90% of the work is. It's generating leads, it's putting out Facebook ads, it's reaching out and cold calling and cold emailing and texting and all of that kind of stuff, which costs a lot of money. So the problem with this model is it costs a lot of money to eventually make the sale. Also, it's small-minded. It's a very right now gratification. It's not thinking in the long term, because at some point it's going to get tougher and tougher to find new customers, and you're going to eventually run out of people. Now, we have 7.8 billion people on the planet, so maybe you don't ever run out of people, but this model is putting you in a place where you always have to find new customers. Whereas large companies, what they do is they actually switch it around a little bit. So let's look at what the large companies do, and let's actually talk about this, because this is where I want your mind to go. Whether you're doing a B2B, a B2C, let's see what the large companies do. So the large companies look at the idea of they want to make a sale. So they want to make a sale so that they can get a customer. Sorry that these pens are running out, y'all. So hopefully you can still see that. They want to make a sale so that they can get a customer. We got to get some new pens in here, guys. So the idea is when they make a sale, they are selling somebody on the product, they're selling somebody on the brand, they're selling somebody on the vision, on the support, so that they can now come in and essentially partner with the company. See, your customers, you've got to start looking at your customers as your partners. Your customers are part of the same ecosystem that help you thrive, that help you and your company grow and go to the next level. And there's something called the lifetime value of a customer. See, in the small model, when we were just worried about getting the customer so that we can make a sale, we were looking at the customer as if their lifetime value was one-time purchase. right? And in some companies, there is a one-time purchase, right? If you're doing solar, for example, odds are, you're selling that person once, maybe twice if you're showing back up at their door 30 years from now. But for the most part, you're only selling them one time. Every other company, though, every other business model, they're looking at, hey, how do we make a sale so that we now acquire you as a customer? And these large companies, when they acquire you as a customer, they want to keep following up with you. They want to continue to nurture you and to provide you with value so that this customer continues to shop with them. This customer now creates a lifetime value. Instead of buying one product for $5, they actually come and throughout the year, they buy that product 100 times over. So they spent $500 with you. But here's the cool part. You only paid and worked to acquire them as a customer one time. See, your hardest, most expensive part of your business is going to be in the actual lead generation. It's going to be actually getting that customer. That's the most expensive part, is actually getting them in your door. So now that they're in the door, why do we want to let them go so we can go search for the new person? We want to make sure that we get that relationship and we take care of that relationship. We grow that relationship. And this is the difference thinking between large companies and small companies. Small companies are very short-minded. They're only thinking about this week or this month or heck, even this year's quota. These larger companies, they're thinking about the lifetime value of their customer. How do I keep you shopping with me year over year over year? How do I make it so that your family shops with me? How do I make it so that you're telling your friends and your community begins to shop with me? When you start thinking like this, when you start thinking like a larger brand, you're going to start to change the fulfillment process of your products. You're going to start to change the fulfillment process of your services. You're going to make sure that you're always over-delivering in value, because then you're going to create this exponential growth factor by increasing the lifetime value of your customer. You're going to increase how much money they spend with you. And your cost of acquisition of getting a new lead is going to drop drastically. So we want to make sure that we're staying focused on this concept right here. And when I first heard this, I got to be honest, it made me look over my entire business model, and it made me look at all the current customers that are already spending money with me, that are already shopping with me, and it made me begin to ask a much better question. Instead of asking, how can I get more customers? I was starting to ask, how can I better serve the customers I already have so that they buy more products from me and so that they tell their friends? I want to make sure my customers eventually turn into raving fans. So if this video was helpful for you, go ahead and do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment below on what you thought the most insightful piece of this video was. And I want to know, have you been thinking like a large company, or have you been thinking like a small company? All right, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Enjoy the rest of the day. Peace out.
I got $1 billion mindset.